All right, DC's 52 week 19 and 20. Some okay stuff going on here, some weird stuff going on, uh, and it was interesting. So, but we're like almost to the middle of the arc, 52 issue arc. We're almost to the middle. It's kind of weird. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Long Box Diving, where we explore comics and story arcs pulled from the long box. Now, DC 52, we're in week 19 and week 20. Week 19 is Geoff Johns, Grant Morrison, Rucka, Mark Waid writing, and they wrote all of them. Pencils were by Patrick Olifi. Art breaks down were by Keith Giffen. So the art in 19 was a little not my cup of tea, not the best in my opinion. In week 20, pencils were Chris Batista, which was actually really pretty good in my opinion. So overall, a lot of stuff going on. There'll be too much to try to recap in just a short period of time. But basically, where we left off last time is that Starfire and Animal Man and Adam Strange ran into Lobo in the middle of space. Lobo has decided to join a church and needs their help. That's kind of where we left off. And the funeral for Booster Gold. So now Skeets, we open up in week 19. Skeets is by himself. And remember we found, Skeets found Booster Gold's past relative, from the past, which is now our present, but Booster Gold's like grandfather. And basically the kid has like the same bad habits of Booster Gold. Can't pay his bills on time, was a superstar, broke his knee, was the 5th place salesman in the whole region out of 6. He's basically not the best, and he's not good at much. He was good at football, and that was basically it. And football got destroyed, so he can't play anymore because of his knee. Now he's like, hey, what if I can promise you that I can make you into a superhero, like your descendant will be? All you gotta do is follow my lead, and I will lead you and turn you into something great. And the guy's like, you know what? I'm in. And he goes, here, I'm being asked to entrust my future to a flying toaster. That's a huge gamble. He goes, yeah, but gambling runs in your blood. Which he does. Booster's not all that good, and he gambles all the time. So, kind of does run in his blood. So, we flip over, and we see Adam Strange, Starfire, and Animal Man land on this planet that Lobo is apparently the bishop of. He's a bishop of something, right? And there's his priest. One of his priests is a dolphin. And so we see them. They get all cleaned up because they've been in space for a while. They probably stink really bad. And then the dolphin dolphin priest says, "Hey, come on, we need to go meet with Lobo, Archbishop Lobo." And there's like all these creatures around, right? And they're all crying for. So Lobo's there, and he's got the Archbishop hat on, which just looks hilarious. And he's basically like, there is this inferno. There's this thing coming to destroy this planet. He goes, music off. Hey, super guy, welcome to my place, right? So he welcomes them. He's got people serving drinks, and then he opens up this eye. Now they see the Emerald Eye, right? I see, what do they call the Emerald Eye? I forgot the actual name of the Emerald Eye. But he goes, hey, there was a bounty put on your head, and I did not, destroy that bounty. I didn't take up a bounty, but I came and rescued you. And they're like, Starfly's like, well, who put a bounty on our head? And he's like, this one who put a price on your head is the same one who's been trashing the sector 3500 and left a trail of rubble on Tiers 30 light years wide, but she ain't where we're running from. So there's something coming to destroy where Lobo is. There was this thing that was tracking the 3 and trying to destroy them. So it's kind of like this whole mix of stuff going on. And then the Emerald Eye is involved. And so back in Metropolis, you see the Weather Wizard is attacking a bank and, trying to rob them, and the normal Weather Wizard's things, but there's no Flash. And so Supernova comes in to rescue the bank managers and the tellers, and then Wonder Girl actually wraps him up in a cord and pulls him up, right? And he comes up to the top and goes, hey, thank you. Who are you? And I'm Wonder Girl. And, he doesn't. He goes, well, I don't get around with the other superheroes too much. And she's like, well, I've been kind of out of practice for a little bit. And she goes to touch his face. He's like, respect my personal space, please. Don't touch me. Babe, don't touch me. Don't. And she's like, well, I'm sorry. I thought. And then he leaves. Thanks for the assist. And she calls him Connor. Now she's starting to believe that Supernova is Connor. Is it Connor? Connor's supposedly dead. And they were supposed to go to some resurrection ceremony that didn't work out. It didn't work out for Ralph's wife, but so now she thinks he's Connor. Now Skeets takes the kid that thinks he's Booster Gold to Rip Hunter's specialized place out in the middle of the Arizona desert. He opens the time lock, sends the kid down there, and the kid's like, hey, Booster Gold was down here? Yeah. What am I doing? We were looking for a clue of what happened to him. Well, he goes like, what's that writing on the wall? He goes, move closer. What does it say? It says, it's his fault. I don't get it. Whose fault? Well, if you look at it, and it drills in on the picture, and it's basically the arrows are pointing to Skeets. And the kid's like, whose fault? And Skeets goes, he knows. And boom, the door's shut and lock the kid in. And then all of a sudden, there's a time portal starts opening up. And the kid's running like, Skeets, hurry, open up. There's a portal here. It's pulling me in. And, you promised me glory. You promised me a chance to relive, my moment. And he goes, you shall, Daniel. And over and over and over for all of eternity. I'm sorry it had to be this way, Daniel. I truly am. And he gets sucked into the time portal. And Skeets goes, but you've served your purpose. He knows. Okay, so is Skeets a good guy or is Skeets a bad guy? Is what's going on with Booster Gold Skeets' fault? So a lot of stuff, not a lot of stuff happened, but I got a lot more questions, which is okay. Because again, we're not even halfway through. We got 21. I think next issue would be halfway through. So we open up, and now in issue 20, week 20, Supernova is in Batman's cave. Why? How do you know about it? He's in Batman's cave, and he's looking at Robin's costume, and he's looking at this gauntlet thing that looks like it's holding the Infinity Stones, which I know it's not possible, but that's what it looks like. And then we get a fire in Metropolis, and then John Steele is holding up like the whole building on fire, and he makes sure everybody gets out, and then as soon as everybody's out, the building crashes, and he comes out and he's like molten, right? He's all heated up, and they spray him down with water hoses, and basically he's back to his normal self, but just he needs to polish, right? And a scientist comes up to him and says, hey, I found this information. Basically, Lex Luthor is making metahumans. And if he can make metahumans, then it stands to reason that he can actually unmake metahumans. And what will happen to people if that happens? All right, so now we're back to Lobo, right? And he goes, in the name of the everlasting triple fish god, will you calm down? All right, so like all these buildings, everything's kind of like falling apart here. And he goes, they're demanding more than that, Lobo. I definitely recognize the words blood and limb from limb in a standard Mausoleum binary. So the people there are like, hey, you got to help us. Something's happening. And so Adam Strange gets ready. They all get, and there's like this swarm of something. I can't even tell what it is. It says a scuttling in the sky, and they're there, and it's these some bugs or something like that. But they're like eating everything. They're just like eating all the buildings. They're eating the people. They're hurting everybody. And so Animal Man takes on some animal thing that he can actually connect, some alien animal thing that he can connect to, and it makes him jump around like a frog, and he's able to shoot fireballs out of his mouth. The Firestorm gets up too, and she starts attacking all these, and it's like almost like locusts is everywhere, and it's just eating everything, and it's destroying everything. And she's shooting laser beams, and he's jumping around shooting fireballs. And then it attacks Lobo, and it eats Lobo to nothing, and the Emerald Eyeball falls out. And this young alien grabs it and says, Oto Motu Lop Lop. And then she just like disintegrates, right? All the people fly backwards and she like disintegrates. So Starfire steps up and picks up the ball. That basically is issue 20. So we got the Emerald Eye of Ekron, which I think Enchantress uses. It has like the same powers as the Green Lanterns, sort of. But yeah, that not a lot of stuff happened in that issue either. But we had Lobo as a priest, and the people he was trying to help were being destroyed by this locust thing. And they used the Emerald Eye to protect the people, but then it called Ekron to come, and he's going to get his eye back. Plus, there's some being that is trying to hunt them down and kill them on top of it all. So we get the locust, them trying to kill them, and then Ekron, something trying to kill them. Locust, Ekron coming. Lobo's like, let's get out of here. He trades his bishop hat for his biker hat. So a lot of stuff going on. So in this issue, not a lot of things happening. Not a lot of stuff going on, but a lot of more questions being brought up in the storyline that hopefully will get answered in the next 22 issues, 32 issues, something like that. So we're almost halfway through. We still got a few more to go. We got till 26 to get halfway through. We're at 20, so we got 6 more issues before we're halfway, and maybe we'll kind of figure out what's going on. But you know, Lex Luthor can turn mutants back and forth. Somebody ripped the not the descendant, but the ascendant of Booster Gold back into the past. Skeets is acting a little sketchy. Lobo is going crazy. The Emerald Eye. Somebody's trying to hunt Animal Man. Firestar down and put a bounty on his head. A lot of stuff kind of overarching. A lot of questions, but not a lot of action. So it was okay. But if you enjoyed this review, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time here in the Long Box.